Hello, good evening, everyone, and welcome to this session. I think it's going to be full of suspense and lots of other fun. So, hi, Mohammed. How are you doing? Yeah, Rahul and everyone's there. No, not everyone is there. I think a couple of people are not there. Najad. Biran, the name sounds a little bit strange. Are we meeting for the first time? Najad. Well, I can't quite the name's not very familiar to me, and well, that's not essential. The most important thing is that we are all here today, and then we're gonna have a wonderful session. Um, so how many people did try to go through the problem we have on the board? It was some kind of assignment, wasn't it? So did anybody try somebody told me it was very difficult. He didn't know how they arrived at all of these numbers, and it was very confusing. And I didn't want to answer the question, before the class, or to try to explain it before the class, and then come again and explain the whole thing all over again. So I just decided to carry it to the class, and we're going to talk about it. So how many people were able to understand? Let me get my mouse. How many people were able to understand how we got all of this section, especially all of these numbers and all of these figures? How many people were able to get it? No one, I suppose. Well, then it must be a general problem. Well, it's a little bit complex. That's very true. And it's real, because in real life, things are not as easy as we always hope, wish they should be. They're more complex. Well, I'm going to explain, and then we have an exercise to test how much we've understood. Then I'm going to give a case, probably in the next couple of classes. We're going to look at a case study of real situation, and then the decisions that were made and how we would make the decisions differently from what was made, and how the decision tree can help us to make it easier. First of all, let me start. Should we go back to the question again so we can read it? All of us are on the same page. Maybe some people are new because some names sound a little bit new. Okay, now this is the question. ABC computer. Number 8. Let me try to make it a little bit bolder. Okay, here you go. Now, again, let's take down notes. If you have a pen handy, it's good to attend these sessions with a pen handy, so we can take down the most important points. The example says it's about ABC Computer Company. Now, ABC Computer Company is considering submission of a bid. We know what is the bid, right? Of a bid for a government contract to provide. Okay, I'm going to take away my video. so it's not a distraction. There you go. Okay, ABC Computer Company is considering submission of a bid for a government contract to provide 10,000 specialized. Prava, what was that? Okay, so I saw a link to WizIQ class on marketing management. Okay, my session is general management. Okay, so again, I'm going to take it all over. ABC Computer Company is considering submission of a bid for a government contract to provide 10,000 specialized computers for use in computer-aided design. Now, this is the contract. Now, let's go into some of the details. There is only one other potential bidder for this contract. So what's the probability? What's the probability that ABC Computer Company is going to have the contract? Okay, 0.5. That's very correct. Very true. Because there are just two of them. So the total outcome is 2. Expected outcome is 1. So it's going to be 1/2, which is 0.5. Now, ABC's bidding decision is, yeah, that's correct, 1/2. 0.5. ABC's bidding decision is complicated by the fact that ABC is currently working on a new process to manufacture the computers. If this process works as hoped, then it may substantially lower the cost of making the computers. However, there is some chance that the new process will actually be more expensive than the current manufacturing process. Unfortunately, ABC will not be able to determine the cost of the new process without actually using it to manufacture the computers. So you cannot tell beforehand. You have to try it. So you're either in or out. Now, if ABC decides to bid, it will take one of 3 bids. Now, these are the 3 possibilities. ABC has a choice to bid with $9,500. These are the facts which we're going to see on the tree. So you better take it down. So these are the 3 bids, possible bids for ABC computers. $9,500 per computer, or they're going to bid $8,500 per computer, or they can as well bid $7,500 per computer. Now, Complex Computer is another company. The rival company that can also bid, there's just 2 of them. Complex Computers is certain to bid. So they're already sure they're going to bid. So there's no dispute about it. And it is equally likely that Complex will bid $10,000 per computer, or $9,000 per computer, or $8,000 per computer. Now, if ABC decides to bid, then it will cost $1 million. I don't know how to call this in the Indian system. You used to say lag and crow. Up till today, I don't really understand how that works. I don't know whether lag is 1,000 or crow is, but I hear it a lot. So when somebody from India tells me 1 crow or 1 lag, or I really want them to write it down because I get confused. So I hope when I call it in millions, it's not a problem. Anyway, the figure is right there. So how do you call this in India? How do you call it? Is it 1 lakh or is 1 crore? Or is it 10 lakh or is 10 crore? I don't know how. 10 lakh. Okay, it means 1 lakh should be 1,000. Right? No. Even 1 lakh should be 100,000. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so if ABC decides to bid, then it will cost 1 million, that is 10 lakh. Hope I got it right. Someone said it. To prepare the bid due to the requirement that a prototype. Now this is very important. This $1 million is for the prototype. Before you say you can bid, you can manufacture the computer, you have to bring a sample, you have to bring a prototype to present it. That, okay, when they look at it, it's okay, fine, that's great. You can bid. You're up to the task. So they have to present a prototype computer. So a prototype computer must be included with the bid. So when you're coming to bid, you have to come along with a prototype. And that prototype to build is going to cost $1 million. Now, this $1 million will be totally lost regardless of whether ABC wins or lose the bidding competition. So once you have produced the prototype, can you take your money back? You cannot, because the money is gone. So whether you have the contract or you don't have the contract, the money for the 1 million, okay, I got it. I think Bravo was trying to talk about life. That's fine. So the money for the prototype is gone. So we have to put it at the back of our mind. Now, with ABC's current manufacturing process, it is certain to cost $8,000 per computer. So if they actually win the contract, the bidding, they start manufacturing the computers, it's going to cost $8,000 to manufacture each computer. Now, with the proposed new manufacturing process, there is a 0.25 probability that the manufacturing will cost will be $5,000 per computer. So there's a low probability that the cost of manufacturing a computer is going to be $5,000. That is less from $8,000. And then there is a 0.5 probability that the cost will be $7,500 per computer. Now, unfortunately, there is also a 0.25 probability that the cost will be $8,500 per computer. Now, should ABC computer company submit a bid? If so, what should they bid per computer? Now, we already had this, and then I asked you, yeah, Francis, you're welcome, and Derek, you're also welcome. I gave you this diagram, and I asked everyone last time to take a snapshot because we're going to be looking at it today, and I hope we did. So, and then I asked you to try to explain, because I didn't want to do the explanation myself, since it's going to be very unfair. I'm teaching it, and then I'm doing it again myself. So I asked us to try it at home. Now let's look at, and then I asked, how did the decision tree, where did we get all of this, and how can we calculate the EV again? What is EV? Okay, expected value, expected value, expected value. Anybody has a different opinion? Okay, I think we got it this time around. There is no mixed up. Okay, so it's expected value. Now, so can anybody explain to us how we got this? If you want to speak up, you can raise your hand. I'm going to give you the mic so you can speak up. This class today is going to be very interactive. Expected value, Tarek, that's correct. Can anybody explain how we got 9? Now, all these figures are in millions, okay? They are all in millions. So we can't write it. It's not normal to write it very, out complete. So they are all millions of dollars. Can anybody explain? Is there anybody who thinks he or she can explain how we got $9 million, 19 million, 44 million, 14 million, minus 1 million? Let's finish with this first arm. Then we can go to the next. Does anybody want to try? Okay, I'm just going to explain. Now, again, let's start from here. We said we start from left to right. Now, we're not looking at the expected values yet, so don't worry about the expected value. Now, these are the different options. Now, the first option which we're following, the option that comes up here. Now, this is ABC's bid, and this is complex bid. Now, if ABC bids $9,500, that is the maximum for ABC, isn't it? From the question, this is the maximum bid for ABC. Is that correct? Yeah, and what is the maximum bid for complex? Yeah, it's 10,000K. Yeah, that's 10K, beg your pardon. That's $10,000. So if ABC decides to bid with its maximum, that is $9,500. Now, there are three possibilities, because there are three bids, right? There are three possibilities. Now, if complex bids $10,000, complex has two other choices, right? Because complex had $10,000, $9,000, and $8,000. ABC has $8,500, correct, proper, and the last one is $7,500. That's correct. So if ABC bids $9,500, everybody has to pay attention because it's a little bit complex. If ABC bids $9,500, complex bids $10,000, it means complexity has two other choices, right? Complex can either bid $9,000 or $8,000. So if ABC bids $9,500 and complex bids $10,000, who is going to win the deal? Is it ABC or complex? Complex, Francis, sure? Yeah, ABC is going to win because ABC's price is less than complex. So if ABC bids $9,500 and complex makes a mistake and bids $10,000, then the deal goes to ABC. But if ABC bids $9,500 and complex bids either $9,000 or $8,000, then complex will get the deal. And ABC will lose $1 million. Do you know where this $1 million is coming from? Can anybody tell us where this $1 million is coming from? Refund? Oh, Francis, you didn't get it right this time. Try again. If ABC bids $9,500 and complex bids $9,000 or $8,000, then ABC will lose $1 million. Can anybody tell us where this $1 million is coming from? Cost of bid. Yeah, be more explicit, Francis. If you say cost of bid, be more explicit. Can you put in some more information there? Good. The cost of the prototype. The prototype is going to cost $1 million. It means that their $1 million which they used to manufacture the prototype is gone. So that is why they're going to lose $1 million. Now, but if Complex makes the mistake to bid $10,000, then the deal will go to ABC. Now, if it goes to ABC, now we start here. ABC has different choices. ABC can use the current cost of production, which is $8,000 per computer. You got it in the question, right? They say the current cost, the current process cost is Rashid, it's okay, is $8,000. So if ABC is going to use the current process costs of $8,000, how many computers are they going to make anyway? The contract, how many computers does the contract say they're going to make? $10,000 copies, 10,000 pieces. So if they have to manufacture 10,000 computers at the cost of $8,000 per computer, so how much are they going to spend to manufacture all the 10,000 computers if they have to go with the 8,000 costs? So can somebody tell us how we got $14 million? This is really going to be fun. I really love the way this tree is designed, you know. Can somebody tell us how we got 14 million? I'll be really proud of you, anybody who's going to do that. How did we get 14 million? We've already said if ABC bids $9,500 per computer and wins the contract because Complex bid 10,000, then ABC has two options: either to go in use the current process price or to go for a new process price. Now, if they go for the current process price, it's going to cost $8,000 to produce one computer. And if they use that, their net profit would be $14 million. But how did we get $14 million? Can somebody do that mathematics for us? I don't know if there is a calculator in WizIQ. I can't find one. No calculator. The quantity that is 10,000 computers. The contract is for 10,000 computers. So if it's going to cost $95 million minus 80 million is 15 million, and then 1 million of prototype. Yeah, Francis, that's great. You got it. Perfect. That's correct. So let's do it on the screen. Let me do it so everyone else can see. I hope it's not going to be a big problem. Now, if the bid $9,500, how many computers are there? There are 10,000 computers. So it's going to be, the first bracket will be 9,500 times 10,000 pieces, right? Okay. Now, this is what what they're going to get. But again, they have to manufacture, and the cost of manufacturing is $8,000 per piece. So they have to subtract $8,000 times 10,000 pieces. this. But again, remember that they've already spent $1 million for the prototype. So we have to minus $1 million. So if you do this mathematics, you're going to get $14 million. So that's very good, Francis. Is it okay with everyone? Yeah, that's great. So this is going to be 45 million, this is going to be 80 million, and then this is going to be 1 million, so it's going to give you $14 million. Okay. Now, let's look at the next. Let's go, if they say they have to develop a new process, a new manufacturing process or design or whatever, then they have 3 different possibilities. The case told us that there is a 0.25%, 0.25 probability that is going to cost them $8,500 per computer. You remember? And 0.25 is the same as 1/4, 1/4. So the probability that they're going to get the production price at $8,500 is 0.25, so it's 1/4. And there's also a probability of 0.5, that is 1/2, that the cost of production is going to be $7,500. And there is another 0.25 probability that it's going to cost them $5,000 per computer. Now, if they succeed to manufacture each of the computer at $5,500, then their net profit is going to be $44 million. Can anybody give us how we got $44 million? Okay, Najat says it is 45 million minus 50 million minus 1 million. Is there anybody else who has something different? How did we get 44 million? Okay, it means Najat is correct because Francis has confirmed the same. So that's good, Najat and Francis, you got it. So it's going to be like Francis clearly put it together. Everybody can look at the chat box. It's going to be $9,500 times 10,000 pieces minus the cost, which is $5,000 per computer times the same total number of pieces minus the prototype. So we have this. So can everybody have now? Everybody, I think everybody should be able to have the 19 million and the 9 million, isn't it? Can we try the 19 million? Yeah, other people can try. It's always fun. It's good to try it out. I know some people don't like numbers, but numbers is the best thing you can ever think of, you know? So 19 million, so somebody can do for 19 million and then another person should do for 9 million. Yeah, Prabha, you're not very active today. Rafiq, what about you? Rahul, Mohammed. Yeah, someone should try the 19 million, then the other person should try the... okay, Rahul, go on. Oh, that's good, Mohammed. Gotta try it. It's good when we try it. When you do it and then you have it wrong, and then you correct yourself, and then you can try again. And then once you get it right, that's it. Nothing to worry about. It's just going to stick. Sometimes when you look at it, it's like, oh, it's very easy. Okay, I understand. But that's not a very good way. But if you try it out yourself, maybe you get a pen and a piece of paper, and then you try on it, and then you can type it, share it with everybody. That's fine. The more mistakes you make and the more corrections you take, the better you learn. That's what I believe anyway. Rafik, you say from your childhood you have your enemy is mathematics. What did maths do to you? Maths is a very cool subject, you know. It's really great. When it's real fun. It makes the brain very active and stuff like that. Okay, anybody got it? Can we move on? Okay, Francis got 419. Let's see. He says 9 times this. Okay, that's fine. Najad got 4. Is it 9? No, it's the same. Okay. Okay, you did for both of them. That's correct. That's good. So this first part is for the 19, and then the second part is for the 9. That's correct. Okay. Now let's move on. The next. Is there anybody who wants to speak out and help to explain this next option to us? Anybody want to try? You can raise your hand. I can activate your mic, and then you can speak out. Let's not look at it like a class. Let's look at it as some brainstorming session in a conference room in one of our meetings, you know, and then we're just trying to brainstorm and try to make a decision together. So we look at it together, and someone can just raise your hand, and then you try to explain. We already explained this, and I believe that everybody got it. Isn't it? Now let's look at the probability here. I think I didn't explain this 1/3, and I didn't explain this 2/3. Now this 1/3, how many different probabilities, how many different outcomes do we have in the bidding? There are only 3. ABC and complex, they only have 3 bids. Now, if ABC bids $10,000, that is one of the 3 bids ABC has. So it's going to be 1/3 of the probability is going to be 1/3. So ABC still has 2/3 because these are 2 different possibilities. ABC can be $9 or it can be $8. So they still have these 2 different possibilities to bid. So it's 2 on 3. Now, before we get here, let's look at the expected values. Can somebody give us this figure? How did we have this expected value? Do we still remember how we get expected values? Now, here we have $9 million, and the probability of us having $9 million is 1/4. This is the probability to have $9 million. The probability to have $19 million is 1/2. And the probability to have $44 million is 1/4. So, how do we get the expected value of this at this point to be 22.75? Yeah, I'm waiting for somebody to. Okay, Prabha says is 1/4 times 9 plus 1/2 times 19 plus 1/4 times 44 equal 22.75. Any other person has something different? Okay, Francis says correct. Nadia says same. Okay, fine, perfect. That's correct. Now, how did we have this expected value at this point? This one at this point to be 22 again, 0.75. How did we get this? Yeah, I'm waiting. Yeah, this expected values for this point, at this point, right? Now at this point, the expected value is 22.75. So how do we get this? Oh, probably you have sound problem. Oh, sorry about that. Anyway, can someone help us how we got this? And then another person can try how we got 6.92 at this point. Yes, 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 yes. Najat says 22.75 divided by 3 minus 1 times 2 divided by 3. Wow. Anybody has a different opinion? Yeah, Najat, I think you're right. I'm still waiting for other people to show up. At this point, the expected value at this point, you got it right, because the expected value of all of this is 22.75. And the expected value of, at this point, is the expected value here. You add to the expected value here, and then the minus 1 is because you're losing $1 million. So that is why there is a negative, not a positive, which is correct. And you're going to have 6.9. I think it should be 9. You round up, because when I did it before, I was 9.1, maybe something, I don't know. And then if you round up to 2 decimal places, you're going to have 9.2. So this is what we have here. Anybody else has anything different? Now, at this point, notice there is no probability. We don't know at this point, this very point, we don't know the probability of going in for a new one or to go in for the current one. So this probability, this expected value is the same. But here we have a probability. The probability of us having this expected value here is 1/3. And the probability of us having this, well, negative, losing $1 million is 2/3. So if we add this, which is going to be this expected value times 1/3, plus and minus this times 2/3, is going to give us $6.92. Okay, down here is the same, so there is nothing to worry about. I'm just going to pass through it very fast so we can look at something else. At this point, if ABC bids $8,500, now complex can be 10,000 or 9,000. If they do here, they have a 2/3 probability here. And if they bid $8,000, means ABC is going to lose. And if ABC loses, it's the same, they're going to lose $1 million. But if they bid 10,000 or 9,000, then their bid is higher. So ABC is going to get the deal because theirs is lower, $8,500. So at this point, so ABC has a greater probability of succeeding if they bid $8,500. Do you see that? This is where I really wanted us to look at, because I didn't want us to get through this class without talking about this particular point. Here, if ABC bids $9,500, they have only 1/3 probability of gaining the contract. And Complex has more chances of winning the contract. 2/3 probability. So here it is risky for ABC if they bid $9,500 because they only have 1/3 chance of winning. Why? Complex has 2/3, so Complex is better off here. At this point, ABC has 2/3 probability, which is higher than the previous bid, if they bid $8,500. And to do the mathematics, we're not going to do it. I assume that we can all do it. You can try out the mathematics. But again, look at this point. If it's going to cost them this much, well, it's going to be a negative. So I think I'm going to come back to it. We'll see how we got negative here and then negative down there. Now, if ABC bids $7,500, there is no way. So ABC has 100% probability of gaining the contract because Complex has $10,000, $9,000, and $8,000. So there is just no way that the deal can go to Complex. So ABC, if they bid $7,500, they're going to get the deal. But again, it's not going to be profitable for them. Now, the question I want to ask is, what decision would you make? Well, we've already seen everything. And if ABC doesn't bid, then it's zero. So they're not going to waste their $1 million. So what is your decision? Should ABC go in for the deal or not? And if they should go, how much should they bid? That's the question I want us to talk about now. Again, the question is, should ABC bid? If they should bid, how much should they bid for the contracts? Robert says ABC should bid $8,500. Okay? There are three bids. There is $9,500, there's $8,500, and there is $7,500. Here they have a 100% probability of getting the contract. But again, look at the net profit. What do you see in the net profit? Here they have 2/3 probability of winning the contract if they bid $8,500. And this is what they're going to, this is the net profit. And then up here, they have just a 1/3 probability of winning the contract. And this is the net profit. So what should ABC do? If you were the manager of ABC, would you go in for the contract? If so, what's going to be your bid? So Prabha already said $8,500. Francis said you're going to bid $8,500. Wow, okay. So why do you want to bid $8,500? Please, just chat in something. I want to just pick on your brain a little bit. So why would you bid $8,500 and you wouldn't bid? Now you stand a chance to make more money if you bid $9,500. This is the net profit. So why would you bid $8,500? And if you bid $8,500, would you use the old processing cost or you use the new one? Now, Francis says $8,500 bid is safer as the 50% probability of having cost of $7,500. Okay? That's your own way of looking at it. Is there anybody else who has a different opinion? Francis P. added some more points. He says, if at all the cost remains 8,500, you will be losing only $1 million. You'll be losing $1 million. Okay? So Tariq, what's going to be your decision? Are you going to bid or not? You're the manager of ABC. What are you going to do? Okay, and Francis added and said, but you have the option to reduce the cost to $5,000 per computer and make a huge gain of $44 million. And Prabhu says it's a huge risk. So what you take, of course it's a huge risk. That is why you're the manager. And you're the one who's supposed to take the risk. The company is in your hands. You either go for it or you don't. But you have to make a decision. Rahul, what are you going to do? Rashid, it's time for people to say what they're going to do, because we have other examples which I'm going to give as an assignment. They're down there, and then I'm going to give you this note by tomorrow morning, because this is the last part, the last example we have. So I'm going to give the note. I'm going to ask the coordinator to send a copy of this to everyone tomorrow morning. I'm sure it's pretty late in India now, so they can't do it. So Francis says two options. I could think of 7,500 and lose 1 million if it does not work. So if you go for the 7,500, and you can lose 1 million if it doesn't work. But you have to take a stand, Francis. You have to. You're either in or out. You make a decision, you stand by it, and that's it. Oh, Francis, now you're going for 7,500. You're changing it. Okay, Francis says, and work hard for to reduce the costs to 5,000. Now, if you go in for, you reduce the cost to 5,000, then you're going to make $24 million. Okay, and Travis says, it's really complicated. Better 7,500. Okay. Well, Prabhu, that is true. But that is why managers are, it's very tough. So if you see a manager who sits in his office and doesn't have anything to do, I don't know, it's kind of, I don't understand how they work, but they do a lot of thinking. They do a lot of, mental work. So I see how you're changing. So you can imagine, how many of you are managers already? Can you indicate those who are already managers? Maybe with, let's say, at least 1 year experience. Yeah, Francis, and it's okay. So I believe that this is a kind of a preparatory course. Oh, Rahul, that's great. You're the system administrator. It means you're part of the management, because this is going to be an opportunity for you to also um, um, make decisions for a particular department. That's the management position. So yeah. So now you have to make decisions before you go in. When you meet your team doesn't understand. You've already done most of the work behind the curtain, and then you just present things to them in the morning in a meeting, in a short briefing, and explain to them what you're going to do. But they don't know that you spend the whole night doing some mathematics, thinking about things, putting numbers together, trying to see how the projection of the way things are going to look like. So that's great. Anyway, if you're using expected value as your guide, then you can go in for the one with the highest expected value. But if you're looking at risk, then you can go in for 7,500. Most people are going to try it at, if I were there, I was going to try it at 8,500. I'm going to go in for 8,500. Well, that's my own opinion, but your opinion also counts. It doesn't mean that because I'm the one leading the discussion, my opinion is good. This one is true. It has a bit more risk. This one, there is no risk at all. 7,500, there is zero risk because your rival cannot afford it. So here you are complete autonomous. You take complete autonomy in the whole thing when you bid 7,500. But if you bid 8,500, there's a little bit of competition, and then you have a 2/3 probability of succeeding. So at the end, that's fine. Please watch the video again, look at all the explanation, and then we have some exercises at the end of it. So tomorrow you're going to have a copy of this. You try to draw the decision tree for each of the exercises, and then you can send it to me. You can scan it and send to me. I'll correct it and give you feedback. So I hope that it was interesting, and we've learned something very, very new for most of us, and it's going to make us better managers. Thank you so very much, and have a wonderful evening.